I did just want to talk more about Juneteenth this year because the theme for Juneteenth 2025 is a reckoning, reclaiming the past, remembering Black voices, and reshaping the future. And I think it's problematic given the Juneteenth theme this year that the decision was made to unilaterally cancel our traditional town hall Juneteenth commemoration, which actually predated the arrival of the town's chief diversity officer, Miriam Moore. So certainly I feel could have been held despite her absence. The Juneteenth theme emphasizes the importance of acknowledging and confronting historical injustices while celebrating Black voices and experiences. It aims to foster a deeper understanding of the intertwined histories of Black and white Americans, encouraging discussions about the legacy of slavery and its ongoing impact in our society today. The theme reflects a commitment to not only remember the past, but also to actively shape a more equitable future. The spirit of all that is Juneteenth was undermined by this breaking with a beautiful tradition that was still in its infancy in an attempt to silence my voice as a Black woman. So what I said in 2019 at our town hall Juneteenth commemoration remains true today. As we recognize Juneteenth, we must be cognizant that our efforts are purely performative and self-serving unless we authentically center the community to which this celebration truly belongs. We must recognize the dichotomy of Juneteenth as we raise a flag in a community that is largely racially segregated and still bears the scars of restrictive covenants, redlining, and steering. Juneteenth is more than an observance and a celebration of freedom. It's also a time to recognize the continual struggle for equity. It's a holiday that perfectly illustrates that two seemingly opposing things can be true at the same time. In the interest of reckoning, reclamation, and remembering this Juneteenth, I want to recognize Ma'afa, which is the Swahili word for great tragedy, and is a term used to refer to the centuries-long enslavement and murder of millions of Africans by white Europeans, North Americans, and others, and the lasting impacts on the people of Africa and of the African diaspora. Ma'afa is the genocide of Africans through chattel slavery. The term emphasizes that the cultural genocide that occurred in chattel slavery was not simply an unintentional result of the system, but rather part of its design. Particularly as we recognize the deep cultural importance of Caribbean American Heritage Month, I think it is important to recognize the Ma'afa as directly related to the colonization of the Caribbean and as an extension of the African diaspora. The firmity of Caribbean culture and its contribution to American culture is also a reflection of the dichotomy that is Juneteenth. So for the second time in 6 years in a town in which I am the only Black elected currently and the second Black woman to serve in elected office, and the only member of the town board directly impacted by chattel slavery in the Americas, I was not asked to offer my perspective on Juneteenth. And again, I had to channel my inner Shirley Chisholm and pull up my folding chair to the table, so to speak. And in celebrating Juneteenth as a nation that still has a long way to go to achieve racial equity, we must ensure that we uplift directly impacted voices, but do not appropriate space. We must ensure that we observe and listen, but do not undermine the leadership of those directly impacted. And most importantly, we must use this opportunity to do better. I challenge everyone, again, as we observe Juneteenth, to disrupt their own patterns today and spend time in predominantly Black spaces, take an action to support Black joy, get involved in an effort that supports equity and justice in our community. In other words, this Juneteenth, again, I challenge all of you to lift that veil, embrace the dichotomy, and appreciate that one's own truth is not the only truth. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Can I have a motion to go into executive session to discuss the employment of particular people?